The sun beat down relentlessly over the dunes, casting long shadows as it crept towards the horizon. The desert was vast and empty, a world of gold stretching in every direction. But within this endless sea of sand, a family had found something far more precious than they ever could have imagined. Liam, an explorer from Earth, knelt down, his rugged backpack resting beside him. He was used to being alone in strange places, charting alien worlds, exploring the unknown. But ever since he had landed on Nyara, his life had changed in ways he hadn't anticipated. Now he held in his arms two tiny blue-skinned infants, each with delicate, pointed ears and bright, curious eyes that reflected the glow of the setting sun. He was no longer an explorer, no longer a wanderer. He was a father. Across from him sat Elira, his partner and the mother of his children. She was unlike anyone he had ever met, a native of Nyara with vibrant blue skin, long silver-white hair that flowed like the moonlight, and eyes that held the wisdom of generations. Her people were known as the Zalarii, a noble race deeply connected to the sands of Nyara and the spirits of their ancestors. Elira's gaze was steady and calm as she watched Liam play with their children, her heart swelling with pride. Though their worlds were light years apart, they had found each other and they had found love. Their story had begun years ago, when Liam's ship crash-landed on Nyara. Injured and alone, he wandered the desert for days, the scorching heat draining his energy. He had almost given up hope when Elira found him. She had been drawn to him by a vision, an image of a stranger from the stars, lost in the sands. The Zalarii were known for their mystical abilities, for visions and dreams that guided them. And so she had followed the signs, risking her life to save his. Elira nursed him back to health in her tribe's village, hidden among the cliffs on the edge of the desert. Though her people were wary of outsiders, she saw something different in Liam, something gentle and strong. They shared stories under the starry skies, learning each other's languages, their laughter echoing through the quiet nights. Liam was fascinated by the desert, by the beauty and harshness of Nyara, and Elira found herself drawn to his courage, his kindness, and his boundless curiosity. Over time, friendship turned to love, and love brought them closer than they had ever imagined. Elira's people had never approved of their union. To them, it was a betrayal of tradition, a mingling of bloodlines that should remain pure. But Elira and Liam defied the odds, choosing each other against all opposition. When their twin children were born, a boy and a girl with the blue skin of the Zalarii and the spirit of both parents, they decided to leave the village behind and create a life of their own in the desert. The days passed slowly on Nyara, marked by the rhythm of the sun and the shifting sands. Each day brought new challenges, but it also brought new joys. Liam and Elira taught their children the ways of both their worlds, blending Earth and Nyara into something unique. The twins learned to walk on the hot sand, their bare feet toughening as they chased after desert lizards and played in the shadows of ancient rock formations. They were curious, always asking questions, always wanting to know more about the stars and the spirits of the desert. Liam would tell them stories of Earth, of vast oceans and green forests, of cities that touched the sky. The children would listen, wide-eyed, as he described the rain, something they had never seen in their desert home. Elira, in turn, would teach them about the Zalarii and their connection to the land. She told them of the sand spirits, the ancient ones who watched over their people, and the songs that called the wind. One day, as the family rested under the shade of a rocky outcrop, Elira shared a special story with them, one she had kept in her heart. It was the story of the Sky Wanderer, an ancient Zalarii legend about a star-born traveler who would come to Nyara, bringing change and hope. Her people had always believed the Sky Wanderer would be a Zalarii of great power, but Elira now believed that the legend spoke of Liam. He was her Sky Wanderer, the one who had brought her life to new horizons. The children listened in awe, their eyes sparkling with wonder. To them, their father was already a hero, a man from the stars who had found his way to their world. And now, with Elira's words, he became part of their own myths and legends. But life in the desert was not without danger. The same people who had once cast out Elira had not forgotten her. The elders of her tribe, angry at her defiance, saw her family as a threat to the purity of the Zalarii bloodline. Rumors began to spread of hunters sent to track them down, to bring her back and erase the stain on their culture. Elira and Liam had heard whispers, but they had hoped it was nothing more than fear-mongering. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky bled into shades of crimson and violet, they saw figures approaching in the distance. Elira's heart clenched as she recognized the garb of her tribe's hunters, warriors skilled in tracking and surviving the desert. She knew they wouldn't leave without a fight. Liam tightened his grip on Elira's hand, his eyes dark with determination. "I'll protect you," he said, his voice steady but filled with resolve. "We'll protect our family no matter what." The twins, sensing the tension, clung to their mother, their small faces filled with fear and confusion. Elira knelt down, smoothing their hair and whispering soothing words, even as her own heart raced. She had left her tribe to live in peace, to raise her family without conflict. But now it seemed that peace was slipping away. The hunters drew closer, their faces masked, their eyes cold. The leader stepped forward, his voice echoing in the silence of the desert. "Elira, you have defied our laws. Come back with us, and your children will be spared." Elira lifted her chin, her voice unwavering. "These children are part of me, part of us. They are Zalarii even if they are different. I will not abandon them." The hunters shifted, their weapons glinting in the fading light. But before they could move, the twins did something unexpected. The children, standing side by side, began to sing, an old Zalarii song their mother had taught them, a song to summon the spirits of the desert. Their small voices rose, carrying the melody through the stillness of the sands. The wind began to pick up, swirling around them as if answering the children's call. The sand shifted, forming a barrier between the family and the hunters. Liam and Elira watched in awe as the power of the desert, the very essence of Nyara, rose to protect them. The hunters hesitated, unnerved by the display. They had not expected this, a blending of earth and Zalarii power, a force neither fully understood nor could control. One by one they retreated, casting uneasy glances back at the family as they disappeared into the night. When the desert finally fell quiet again, Liam wrapped his arms around Elira and their children, his heart pounding with pride. They had stood together not just as a family but as something more, a bridge between worlds, a union of strength and spirit. From that day on, they knew they would always have to fight to protect their family, to defend the life they had built together. But they also knew they were not alone.